You are not an accident. You are not a random collection of molecules that somehow wandered into existence. There is something within you right now, at this very moment, that knows you are here for a reason. And what you did today, yes, today, this ordinary day that you might think was just another Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day it happens to be, what you did today sent ripples all the way to heaven. The divine source that created you is absolutely delighted with you right now. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but I didn't do anything special today. I just went to work. I just took care of my kids. I just did the dishes. I just had regular conversations. I didn't cure cancer. I didn't save anyone's life. I didn't do anything worthy of heaven's attention. And that right there, that thought is exactly what we need to talk about. Because you've been conditioned to believe that only the big, spectacular, newsworthy events matter. You've been taught that unless you're making headlines or winning awards or accumulating wealth or achieving some massive goal, you're not really doing anything significant. But let me tell you something that will change everything if you really let it sink in. The universe doesn't measure significance the way your ego does. The divine doesn't hand out gold stars for the things that impress other people. What touches heaven, what truly matters in the grand scheme of existence, are the small moments of love, kindness, awareness, and authenticity that you brought into the world today. When you smiled at that stranger this morning, even though you were tired and didn't feel like it, that mattered. When you listened, really listened, to someone who needed to be heard, that touched heaven. When you chose patience over anger, when you chose understanding over judgment, when you chose to see the good in someone even when they weren't showing their best self, heaven noticed. When you created something, anything, even if it was just a meal or a text message or a moment of joy for yourself, you were participating in the creative force of the universe. You were being what you were meant to be. You see, you are what I call a chosen one. Now, before you think I'm saying you're better than anyone else, let me be clear. Everyone is chosen. Every single person on this planet is chosen. But not everyone knows it. Not everyone accepts it. Not everyone lives from that truth. You are chosen not because you're special in comparison to others, but because you are a unique expression of the infinite. There has never been, and will never be, another you. Your fingerprint on reality is unlike anyone else's. And when you show up as yourself, when you do what only you can do in the way only you can do it, heaven celebrates. Think about this for a moment. The source of all creation, the infinite intelligence that spun galaxies into existence, that same force is expressed through you. You are not separate from, you are not disconnected from the divine. You are an individualized expression of it. And everything you do, every choice you make, every thought you think, every word you speak, is the universe experiencing itself through your unique perspective. Today, you made choices. Maybe you don't even remember all of them. Maybe they seemed insignificant at the time. But every single choice was an opportunity for love or fear, for expansion or contraction, for light or shadow. And I'm here to tell you that the choices you made toward love, toward kindness, toward growth, toward authenticity, those choices sent shockwaves through the spiritual dimension. Those choices aligned you with your highest self. Those choices were exactly what you came here to do. Let me tell you what I've learned over all these years of studying spiritual principles and working with people from all walks of life. The biggest obstacle between you and the life you're meant to live, between you and the joy that is, your birthright, between you and the awareness that heaven is delighted with you, is your belief that you're not enough. It's your belief that you need to be more, do more, achieve more, become more, before you're worthy of love, approval, and divine acceptance. But here's the truth that will set you free if you let it. You are already enough. You were enough the moment you were born. You were enough before you accomplished anything. You are enough right now exactly as you are, with all your flaws and imperfections and mistakes and struggles. The divine doesn't love you because of what you do. The divine loves you because of what you are. You are love itself, temporarily wearing a human form. When you did what you did today, whatever it was, you were simply being yourself. And that is all heaven has ever asked of you. Not to be perfect, not to be someone else, not to live up to some impossible standard, just to be authentically, courageously, beautifully you. And when you do that, when you show up as yourself, you give permission for others to do the same. Your authenticity creates a ripple effect that touches lives in ways you'll never fully comprehend. You know, We spend so much of our lives waiting for permission. We wait for someone to tell us we're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. We wait for the perfect conditions. We wait until we've figured everything out. We wait until we're completely ready. And in all that waiting, we miss the only moment that actually exists, which is right now. This moment, this precious, irreplaceable moment that you're living right now. What you did today was live this moment. You breathed. You existed. You participated in the miracle of life. And that alone is worthy of celebration. That alone touches heaven. Because every breath you take is a gift. Every heartbeat is a miracle. Every moment of consciousness is a divine event. You are not taking life for granted when you recognize this. You are finally seeing reality as it truly is. Let me share something with you that changed my entire perspective on life. For so many years, I was caught up in achieving, in becoming, in doing more and being more. I thought that's what life was about. I thought that's what would make me happy. And there's nothing wrong with goals and achievements. They're wonderful. But I was missing the whole point. The point is not the destination. The point is not the achievement. The point is who you become in the process. The point is the awareness you cultivate. The point is the love you express along the way. When you shift your perspective from doing to being, everything changes. You realize that you don't have to earn your worthiness. You realize that you don't have to prove anything to anyone, including yourself. You realize that the divine is not keeping score. There is no cosmic report card. There is no judgment waiting for you. There is only love, infinite and unconditional love, waiting for you to recognize it, accept it, and express it. Today, in whatever you did, you had moments where you expressed that love. Maybe you don't remember them all. Maybe you think they were too small to matter, but they mattered. When you held the door for someone, when you said thank you and meant it, when you forgave yourself for a mistake, when you chose to try again even after failing, when you were gentle with yourself or with someone else, you were expressing divine love. You were fulfilling your purpose. You were being what you came here to be. The chosen ones, the people who truly understand their spiritual nature, they don't walk around thinking they're better than everyone else. They walk around knowing that everyone else is just as divine as they are. They see the light in others. They see past the mistakes and the flaws and the ego-driven behaviors. They see the truth. And the truth is that we are all expressions of the same source. We are all connected. We are all one. When you hurt someone, you hurt yourself. When you help someone, you help yourself. When you judge someone, you judge yourself. When you love someone, you love yourself. This is not just poetic language. This is the fundamental nature of reality. We are all waves in the same ocean. We all come from the same source and return to the same source. And in between, we get to have this experience called life. What you did today was contribute to the collective consciousness of humanity. Every thought you thought, every feeling you felt, every action you took added something to the energetic field that we all share. When you chose fear, you added to the fear in the world. When you chose love, you added to the love in the world. It's that simple, and it's that profound. Now, some of you might be thinking, but I made mistakes today. I lost my temper. I was impatient. I was selfish. I wasn't my best self. How can heaven be delighted with me when I messed up? And here's what I want you to understand. Your mistakes are part of your growth. Your imperfections are part of your humanity. The divine doesn't expect you to be perfect. The divine knows you're going to stumble and fall and get back up again. That's the whole point of being human. What delights heaven is not your perfection, it's your willingness, it's your effort, it's your intention. It's the fact that you keep trying, keep growing, keep showing up, even when it's hard, even when you fail, even when you don't feel like it. The fact that you're here, living your life, doing your best with what you know and what you have, that's what touches heaven. That's what matters. You are so much more than your mistakes. You are so much more than your past. You are so much more than your current circumstances. You are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. And that human experience includes struggles and challenges and difficulties. But those struggles don't define you. Those challenges don't diminish you. They are simply the contrast that helps you appreciate the light. Think about the caterpillar and the butterfly. The caterpillar doesn't judge itself for being a caterpillar. It doesn't think, I'm not good enough until I become a butterfly. It simply follows its nature. It does what it's programmed to do, and in the right time, transformation happens. Not because the caterpillar forced it, not because the caterpillar earned it, but because transformation is the natural order of things. You are in a constant state of transformation. Every day, you are becoming more of who you truly are. Every experience is teaching you something. Every challenge is strengthening you. Every setback is setting you up for a comeback. And heaven sees all of this. Heaven sees your journey. Heaven sees your growth. Heaven sees your courage. And heaven is absolutely delighted with you. You know what else touches heaven? Your dreams, your desires, your aspirations. You were given those dreams for a reason. They weren't placed in your heart to torture you. They were placed there to guide you. They are the universe's way of calling you forward, of inviting you to become more of who you truly are. When you honor those dreams, when you take even small steps toward them, when you don't give up on them, even when they seem impossible, you are saying yes to life. You are saying yes to your divine purpose. And that yes reverberates throughout the entire universe. Today, maybe you took a step toward your dream. Maybe it was a tiny step. Maybe it was just thinking about it. Maybe it was doing research. Maybe it was having a conversation. Maybe it was practicing your craft. Maybe it was just believing for one moment that it could be possible. Whatever step you took, it mattered. It counted. It moved you forward. And heaven noticed. Or maybe today you didn't take any steps toward your dream. Maybe you were just surviving. Maybe you were just getting through the day. Maybe you were dealing with pain or loss or disappointment. And that's okay too. Because sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is just keep breathing. Sometimes the biggest victory is just showing up. Sometimes touching heaven is simply about not giving up. Here's something I want you to really hear. You are not behind. You are not running out of time. You are exactly where you need to be. Everything that has happened in your life, everything you've experienced, all the joy and all the pain has been preparing you for right now. This moment. This is your moment. Not someday in the future when conditions are perfect. Not after you've achieved your goals. Not when you've figured everything out. Right now. This moment is the only moment you have. And in this moment, you are enough. The divine doesn't operate on your timeline. The divine operates in perfect timing. What's meant for you will not pass you by. What's yours will come to you. But you have to trust the process. You have to have faith even when you can't see the evidence. You have to believe even when it seems impossible. That's what faith is. Faith is not believing that everything will work out exactly as you planned. Faith is trusting that everything will work out exactly as it should. Today, you exercise faith. Maybe you didn't even realize it. But every time you chose hope over despair, every time you chose to keep going even when you wanted to quit, every time you trusted that things would get better, you were exercising faith. You were aligning with the divine flow. You were opening yourself to receive the blessings that are always trying to reach you. And let me tell you about blessings. Blessings are not always what you expect. Sometimes blessings come disguised as challenges. Sometimes growth comes wrapped in difficulty. Sometimes the best thing that ever happened to you doesn't feel good when it's happening. But when you look back, when you can see the bigger picture, you realize that everything was working for your highest good. Everything was guiding you toward your greatest self. What you did today, all the challenges you faced, all the obstacles you overcame, all the moments where you had to dig deep and find strength you didn't know you had, those were blessings. Those were opportunities for growth. Those were heaven's way of calling forth more of your divine nature. And the fact that you met those challenges, the fact that you're still here, the fact that you didn't give up, that touches heaven. That is what a chosen one does. Being chosen doesn't mean your life will be easy. It doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. It doesn't mean you get a free pass from pain or struggle. Being chosen means you have the awareness, the strength, the wisdom, and the courage to face whatever comes your way. Being chosen means you understand that you are never alone, that you are always supported, that you are always guided. Being chosen means you know, at the core of your being, that you are loved, and that love is not conditional. It's not based on your performance. It's not something you have to earn or deserve. It simply is. It's the fundamental nature of the universe. The universe is love expressing itself in infinite forms, and you are one of those forms. You are love itself, temporarily wearing a human body, temporarily forgetting your divine nature so that you can remember it again. That remembering, that awakening, that recognition of who you truly are, that's what life is all about. Today you remembered, even if it was just for a moment, even if it was just a fleeting feeling, even if you immediately forgot again and got caught back up in your worries and fears and doubts, you still had that moment. You still touched that truth. And once you touch it, once you taste that divine connection, you can never fully forget it. It stays with you. It changes you. It guides you. You see, the spiritual path is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. It's about removing the layers of conditioning and belief and fear that cover up your true nature. It's about letting go of everything you're not so that what you truly are can shine through. And every day, in every moment, you have the opportunity to let go a little more, to remember a little more, to be a little more of your authentic self. What you did today was exactly that. You let go of something. Maybe it was a grudge. Maybe it was a fear. Maybe it was a limiting belief. Maybe it was a need for control. Maybe it was the need to be right. Maybe it was judgment of yourself or someone else. Whatever you let go of, that created space. Space for something new, space for growth, space for grace, space for the divine to work in your life. And here's the beautiful thing about grace. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to figure out how it works. You just have to be open to it. You just have to allow it. Grace is always flowing. Miracles are always available. Blessings are always trying to reach you. But you have to be receptive. You have to be open. You have to say yes. Today you said yes. You said yes to life. You said yes to love. You said yes to possibility. You said yes to yourself. And that yes, that simple yet profound yes, opened doors in the invisible realm. It set things in motion. It aligned you with opportunities and people and circumstances that are for your highest good. You may not see the results yet. The manifestation may not be visible yet. But trust me, it's happening. The wheels are turning. Heaven is working on your behalf. Because here's what most people don't understand. When you align with your divine nature, when you live from love instead of fear, when you show up authentically, when you do what you came here to do, the entire universe conspires to support you. It's not magic. It's law. It's the way things work. Like attracts like. Energy flows where attention goes. What you focus on expands. These aren't just nice sayings. They are fundamental principles of how reality operates. Today, you focused on something positive. Even if it was just for a moment, even if you also focused on negative things, you still had those positive moments. You still chose love at some point. You still chose hope. You still chose to believe. And those choices matter. Those choices have power. Those choices create your future. Your future is not predetermined. It's not set in stone. It's being created right now by the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, the actions you take, and the energy you put out into the world. You are the creator of your experience. Not in a way that means you're responsible for every bad thing that happens to you. Life includes random events and circumstances beyond your control. But you are responsible for how you respond. You are responsible for the meaning you give to events. You are responsible for the story you tell yourself about your life. And the story you're telling matters. If you tell yourself a story of victimhood, of powerlessness, of limitation, that's the reality you'll experience. But if you tell yourself a story of empowerment, of possibility, of divine support, that becomes your reality. Not instantly, not magically, but gradually, consistently, as you continue to align your thoughts and beliefs with the truth of who you are. Today, you aligned with that truth. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not consistently, but you did it. And that's what counts. That's what heaven sees. Heaven doesn't require perfection. Heaven celebrates progress. Heaven delights in your willingness to try, to grow, to show up, to be present, to be authentic, to be loving. And speaking of being loving, let's talk about self-love for a moment. Because this is where so many people struggle. You've been taught to be humble, to not think too highly of yourself, to put others first. And while humility and service are beautiful qualities, they should never come at the expense of your own well-being. You cannot give from an empty cup. You cannot love others fully if you don't love yourself first. Self-love is not selfish. Self-love is not arrogance. Self-love is not narcissism. Self-love is simply recognizing your own divine nature. It's treating yourself with the same kindness, compassion, and respect that you would offer to someone you deeply love. It's honoring your needs, your boundaries, your feelings, your truth. It's being gentle with yourself when you make mistakes. It's celebrating yourself when you succeed. It's accepting yourself exactly as you are, while still being open to growth. Today, you practice self-love. Maybe you don't even realize it. But every time you honored a boundary, every time you said no to something that wasn't right for you, every time you rested when you needed rest, every time you fed yourself nourishing food, every time you spoke kindly to yourself instead of criticizing yourself, you were practicing self-love. And that self-love radiates outward. It affects everyone around you. It gives others permission to love themselves too. You are a beacon of light. You may not feel like it. You may not see it. But you are. Your very presence makes a difference. The energy you carry affects the energy of every room you enter, every person you interact with, every space you occupy. You are constantly broadcasting your vibration out into the world. And when that vibration is aligned with love, with peace, with joy, with authenticity, you become a force for positive change. What you did today changed the world, not in a way that will make the news, not in a way that anyone will write about in history books, but in the only way that truly matters. You change the world by being yourself. You change the world by choosing love. You change the world by not giving up. You change the world by showing kindness. You change the world by staying true to your values. You change the world by being present. You change the world by caring. You change the world by trying. You change the world by existing. Because your existence matters, your life matters, your choices matter, your thoughts matter, your feelings matter, your dreams matter, you matter. Not because of what you do or what you achieve or what you possess, but simply because you are. You are a unique expression of the divine. You are unrepeatable. You are irreplaceable. You are necessary. The universe needs you to be you, not someone else, not a better version of you, just you, exactly as you are right now. And heaven, the divine source, God, the universe, whatever name you want to use for that infinite intelligence that created everything, is truly delighted with you. Not because you were perfect today, not because you did everything right, not because you lived up to some impossible standard, but because you showed up, you participated, you tried, you cared, you loved, you were human, you were real, you were authentic, you were you. That's all that's ever been asked of you. To be yourself, to express your unique gifts, to share your light with the world, to love as only you can love, to create as only you can create, to live as only you can live. And when you do that, when you embrace your true nature, when you stop trying to be someone you're not, when you stop comparing yourself to others, when you stop waiting for permission or approval, when you simply be who you came here to be, magic happens. Not fairy tale magic, real magic. The magic of alignment, the magic of authenticity, the magic of living in harmony with your divine nature. Things start to flow, doors start to open, opportunities start to appear, people start to show up, resources start to become available, not because you're forcing anything, not because you're manipulating reality, but because you're finally allowing yourself to receive what's always been trying to reach you. Today, you allowed yourself to receive something. Maybe it was a compliment that you actually accepted instead of deflecting. Maybe it was help that you finally asked for. Maybe it was rest that you finally gave yourself permission to take. Maybe it was joy that you allowed yourself to feel without guilt. Maybe it was love that you opened your heart to receive. Whatever it was, you received. And in receiving, you acknowledged your worthiness. You acknowledged that you deserve good things. You acknowledged that you are loved. And you are loved. So deeply loved. So completely loved. So unconditionally loved. By the source of all creation. By the universe itself. By the divine presence that beats your heart and breathes your breath and animates your body. You are loved beyond your comprehension. You are valued beyond your imagination. You are cherished beyond your understanding. And nothing you do or don't do could ever change that. That love is constant. That love is eternal. That love is who you are. So when I say that what you did today touched heaven, I'm not talking about some distant place in the sky where a judgmental God sits on a throne keeping track of your good deeds and bad deeds. I'm talking about the divine realm of pure love, pure consciousness, pure potential that exists right here, right now, in this present moment. I'm talking about the truth of your being. I'm talking about the essence of who you are. And when you align with that essence, when you express that truth, when you be who you came here to be, you touch heaven. You are heaven. You bring heaven to earth. That's what the chosen ones do. They don't wait for heaven. They create heaven right here. They bring love where there is hate. They bring light where there is darkness. They bring hope where there is despair. They bring peace where there is conflict. They bring healing where there is pain. Not because they're special, not because they're better, but because they understand that they are instruments of the divine. They are channels through which love flows. They are vessels through which grace moves. And you are one of those vessels. You are one of those channels. You are one of those instruments. Whether you realize it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether you believe it or not, it's the truth. And the more you align with that truth, the more you accept that truth, the more you live from that truth, the more powerfully you express your divine nature, the more completely you fulfill your purpose, the more fully you experience the joy and peace and love that are your birthright. Today was a good day, not because everything went perfectly, not because you accomplished everything on your list, not because you solved all your problems, but because you lived, you showed up, you participated, you tried, you grew, you loved. And that's enough. That's more than enough. That's everything. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, new opportunities, new moments to choose love over fear, to choose faith over doubt, to choose hope over despair. And you'll meet those moments with the same courage and grace and authenticity that you brought to today, because that's who you are. That's what chosen ones do. They keep showing up. They keep choosing love. They keep trusting the process. They keep believing in themselves. They keep fulfilling their divine purpose, one moment at a time. And heaven will continue to be delighted with you. Not someday when you finally get it all together. Not when you achieve your biggest goal. Not when you become perfect. But right now, today, tomorrow, always. Because you are loved, you are valued, you are cherished, you are divine. You are exactly who you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, exactly when you're supposed to be doing it. Trust that, believe that, know that, and let it transform your entire experience of life. Because when you truly understand that heaven delights in you, that the divine celebrates you, that the universe supports you, everything changes. You stop trying so hard, you stop forcing things, you stop struggling against life, you start flowing with life, you start allowing life, you start trusting life. And in that trust, in that allowing, in that flow, miracles happen. So keep doing what you're doing, keep being who you're being, keep shining your light, keep sharing your gifts, keep expressing your love, keep growing, keep trying, keep showing up, because what you're doing matters, who you're being matters, you matter. And heaven is watching, heaven is celebrating, heaven is absolutely delighted with you, today and always.